a few minutes.
Yep, mic up.
Good evening, race fans, and welcome to Season 2 of Veterans Only here at TDR. We're at Thompson Speedway tonight. I'm alongside my sidekick, Tommy Upside Down Hebert. How we doing, Tommy?
Oh, as good as can be expected.
Are you upside down tonight?
I was upside down earlier. I'm still recovering.
Yeah, we knew that. We saw that. That was wheels pointed to the sky. You know, I was watching this week at TDR, and a lot of cars rolling, but only one kept their wheels to the sky, and that just happened to be an 86.
Well, it's an acquired skill.
Well, you can
I
do it.
appreciate you for helping me acquire it.
Yeah. Well, we're kicking off Season 2 with the Vets League after Justin Jarrett took the championship in Season 1. What do you expect to see here in Season 2?
I expect to see a lot of rubbing. We have a lot of new drivers, so I expect to see a lot of those simple mistakes that might cause some trouble for some of our front runners. But I think we're going to be saying probably the same 5 names all season long. We got 5 guys out there that I think are really fast.
Yeah, you take a look at these qualifying times as guys are qualifying now, and taking a look at it, it's not the same names that we're used to seeing up front.
Well, Corey Harridges was a name we mentioned a lot in season 1. Kraus, Spratley are all new guys. Gier was in at least one event last season. So, yeah, I think Corey Harridges might have some speed. I think he's one of the top 5 I'm thinking of.
Yeah, he was fast all season last season, and he could have had a shot, I think, at running for the championship with Jared if he had been in every race. Kraus and Spratley, never seen them before. It's nice to see some new names, some new vets. We appreciate what they do for us, and it'll be fun to see what they've got for us this year.
Well, they qualified well, and I'm excited to see a couple newcomers take the veterans, so to speak, out around their first couple laps here.
That's right, and now we would not be doing justice if we didn't talk about last season, the rivalry between King and Jarrett. You see that continuing here tonight at Thompson?
Well, I was in the driver's lounge earlier while everyone was having a good time over there. There was a little bit of discussion about what might take place early on tonight.
Yeah, there could be some fireworks between these two. Early in the season, yes, points matter, but maybe you get that kind of stuff out of the way before you come down to a points battle here at the towards the end of the season.
Yeah, and let's not forget about Gaiman. He came in second in points last season. King was obviously very dominant towards the end, but Gaiman was there for the long haul and putting a lot of points on the board.
That's right. We've got a lot of drivers tonight too. We're looking at 17 drivers. Again, a lot of new names, but also the names that we're used to seeing. And so now what are we're going to see with some of these rookies that haven't raced around these other vets? We going to see some incidents early, or what do you think is going to happen there?
Well, it's hard to tell. I don't think it's too many cars for the track. There's plenty of room out here for these guys to be easy on each other. But like I mentioned earlier, a lot of rookie mistakes. I think we'll see a few early on. And like last season, a lot of these drivers are going to improve as they go on. This race might be a little messy, but I think it's going to be the beginning to a good season.
Yeah, good to hear. I'm excited to see this. As we kick off season two, we've got some new voices in the booth tonight. I'd like to send it off to them. Some great racing experience. We're gonna pass this off to Adam. I've now been corrected on the last name. Adam Ricky and Sean Risley. Welcome, gentlemen.
Well, thanks for having us. I appreciate it. Nice to be part of this Veterans League here. It's a great thing that we're doing for them, and definitely look forward to seeing this race tonight at this track. This is a track that I have personal experience on in real racing, so it's an older, worn-out track. People got to be a little careful coming off the corners, putting the power down. I imagine we're going to see that's where the vast majority of, I think, our incidents are going to come tonight, coming out of turn 2, coming off of turn 4. But hopefully during practice, people figure that out and should be good to go.
Yeah, it's going to be a great race tonight. Got a number of cars here. The pack is really tight together, and it's Thompson, right? There's a lot of banking in the corners. You can really turn off corners, a lot of speed down the straightaways. So I think we're going to see a lot of really great racing tonight.
Yeah, it's a very interesting track. This high bank track. I mean, it's been around here a long time. People here locally in the area say it's due for a repave, but I think I like the character of the track the way it is now, and it's really a driver's track. You have to be pretty technical around this track, so definitely interested to see how these guys do around the track tonight.
Yeah, it'll be really coming down to who can really get the high line working. That's the fast line. You can dig underneath people all night, but you have to be really far ahead of them going into the corner to get that slide job to get back up into that groove.
Yeah, I think guys will find if you start taking that low line, that short way around the track, tire wear is definitely going to become an issue. I know that they have unlimited tires tonight, but you can only come in when you can get a chance to come in. And if we have some long greens, I think tire wear is going to be a major factor on this track tonight.
Yeah, it sounds like tire wear will be a concern. It also sounds like we got a rivalry. We got the former champion Jarrett and we got King, and they've got a little thing still going on into this season. It'll be interesting to see how the newcomers, shake that out for them.
It's funny you mentioned that because I've been looking at the qualifying times, and it looks like King is 8th and Jarrett is 9th. So they'll be starting right next to each other, which when you have a rivalry, we see this in NASCAR a lot. That guy ends up next to you all the time. You can't get away from him.
Almost like it's planned.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And anytime you got a problem with someone, they're right there. And the reason why you have a problem with them is because you're usually racing with them, right? Like it kind of one leads into the other.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's if I'm only around you a couple times a race, but if we're racing against each other and we're next to each other, race after race, season after season, yeah, we're probably going to wear on each other's nerves after a while.
Yeah, and we're just a few seconds out before the start of this race. Really looking forward to it. Can't wait to see who comes out on top. I think there's going to be some great racing to kick off the season.
Yeah, looking at these qualifying times, looks like some guys in the back maybe had a little bit of an issue, but looking through the top 7, top 10, we're only separated by 2-3 tenths of a second here. So I imagine this is going to be some pretty close racing. I'm pretty excited about if we get 10 cars under a blanket, that is going to be some exciting racing to watch.
I really hope it's a good race. Hopefully nobody ends up on the roof. We know that'll be drastically reduced with Tommy being in the booth tonight. So we should be good.
Excellent. So we should be gridding up here shortly. Qualifying is just completed. Looks like Corey has taken the pole here with Kraus and Spartley second and third, and Kevin coming in fourth. So our first two rows separated by less than 1/10 of a second. So I think that's some very competitive lap times. Should be some good quality hard racing here.
It'd also be interesting to see what the former champion is going to be able to do. He is not starting up front. He's starting mid-pack. This is a tight racetrack. It's fast, and passing can be a little difficult. So patience is going to be key for our former champion.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it is a pretty wide track, but if you get out of that groove, either the bottom groove on the really inside, or step up, one car width to that second groove, anything higher than that, you're going to get up in those marbles. So if you're trying to make some moves up there, you may not have as much success as you think you're going to have.
It also gets really tight coming out of turn 2. I know 4 is a little bit harder when you're pushing. I think turn 2 is a little bit looser, and I think we're going to see a lot more contact there. So everyone's got to be really patient coming out of there.
Yeah, it's funny you mention that because, having raced this track myself, those turns are absolutely different. 1 and 2 are absolutely different than 3 and 4. 1 and 2 are actually banked a little more than 3 and 4.
Yeah, they are. And I think turn 2 is where we're going to see a lot of setups for passes down the backstretch, and hopefully they'll be able to clear them going into the 3 turn for that slide job.
Excellent. Well, we are on our pace lap here, and we are green here as we see pace car coming out of 4.
Yep,
one
more lap before we go green. Really looking forward to it. We'll see what Corey can do, because even though he's on pole, he is not in the preferred line. Really come down to how he gets off on that start.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be interesting. With those qualifying times, they are so close together. I'm very interested to see how these first 5 to 10 laps go as these tires and track starts to rubber in.
Yeah, we're just a few seconds away before that green flag and the start of Season 2 for the TDR Veterans League.
Pace car is in, and we are going green.
Looks like Kraus got a good start up on the outside groove. Might have the preferred line coming out of 2.
Yeah, nice clean start. Yep, looks like he's about a car length ahead. Definitely got a nice clean start there. Coming out of 4. We're 3 wide in the back there for 4th.
I already think we got King and Jared already made contact in the first lap.
Yeah. Didn't take those guys long to find each other, that's for sure.
You'll be seeing that all night.
Yeah. This is a 65-lap race, so we are finishing. We're going on lap 3 here, and we got a spin coming out of 4. I don't know who that was.
King. King spun around coming into 4.
Well, maybe we'll get a chance to go look at the replay and see if he did that all on his own. I didn't see any contact, but Adam, if you want to take a look there.
Yeah, so this is the time through the lap before.
See Gaiman in the mix there.
Yeah, definitely some jockeying going down that front stretch into 1.
Yeah, made a good pass coming out of 2, down the back stretch. I think we got somebody looking back on the inside, and that's where the contact came from. Yeah, a little bit of contact going down into 3, and backed it up actually into the left front of Jarrett.
Yeah. Guys behind him, though, did a great job of avoiding him, and that's not easy to do, especially in the corner. So good job there. So looks like we got it pointed straight. I didn't see him go to the pits, so maybe his car's in good shape. These street stocks are actually pretty durable cars as far as racing is concerned. So if you're banging them up against the wall a little bit, or we're going door to door, they can take a little bit of damage. They're certainly not too aero sensitive, that's for sure.
No, aero is not a problem. Even spinning out the tire wear is not a problem with this tire model. And as you said, even the bodies of these, they can take a pretty good hit. However, only can take so many of those hits before it will start to become a problem.
Absolutely. Start getting those tire rubs and cutting down tires.
Well, and that's the hard part for King. He is favored potentially for a championship. Ran really strong last year, really competitive with Jarrett in a number of races. And now he finds himself towards the back of the pack very early in the first race of the season.
Yeah, definitely be interested to see him coming up through the field. Obviously he's a strong driver. Again, pretty decent field here tonight. So definitely keep an eye on him coming up through the field.
Lights are out.
Yeah, lights are out, getting ready to go back to green. Next time by out of 4. And it still looks like the front of the field is exactly how they were.
Yeah, should be doubling up here shortly. The start before was very clean. I was impressed, actually, especially for a lot of these guys that are new to not only iRacing, but definitely new to this track. This isn't an easy track. So going single file restart, and we're back to the green.
And we already got one car spun coming to the green down on the infield.
Yeah,
can't see who that was.
I think it was Michael Green, but I'm not sure. Blue car there.
Yeah, definitely contact. I do believe that is green.
And I don't know if there was any contact with that or if that just spun the tires there on the restart, which is certainly a possibility. So.
Yeah. Well, right now we got not a lot of battles going on. I think everyone's probably going to just try to get single file, get a few laps under their belt, see what moves they can make to advance their positions.
Yeah, I think, and this, Adam, you can probably speak to this, though. I will admit, Adam is usually ahead of races together on iRacing. Adam is very, very good at iRacing. I do a lot of the Sunday Night Thunder. And when I see races like this, especially 2 early cautions, I try to maybe play it a little easier, kind of make up those spots by other people's mistakes. So I wonder if we'll be seeing that tonight. As we can see, King's in the pit here, maybe fixing some damage or maybe getting some fresh rubber on there. So that'll be interesting again to see him try to come through the field. But I think with these early cautions, we did stay green though.
Yeah, we did stay green. There's a single car crash down in the infield, got it back going, not really affecting any of the racing that's going on. And, as you were talking about, what's the mindset, right? You've already had a couple quick cautions, your first race of the season, you're trying to get everything going. And, you got Corey Harridge is out, you got James Krause, about a half a second behind him. And, that's not quite enough of a lead where you can really just take it easy. You got to get a little bit further out. And then you can do a little bit more riding, save your tires, keep your car all in one piece because it won't be long. And actually right now, here we are, they're getting into lap traffic. Now they have to navigate all of that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Getting blocked by a lap car. And there goes the lap car down on the infield going to the 1.
The right car spun out.
Yeah, the right car spun out. Yeah, absolutely. When I get more nervous around the leaders if I'm a lap car. When I'm on the track here. So looks like Heritage stretching out his lead there. He's still a half a second. Actually, Krause is closing in on him now. He just made up 2/10 that lap.
Well, and that's the hard part for Heritage, right? He's trying to go by a lap car. Lap car's crowding him down to the inside. What do, right? Do you risk taking that damage on the car very early on, or do you move them out of the way so you can keep that lead that you need over that second place car?
Yeah, and that's another example of it right there. That lap car got probably a little nervous with Heritage coming up and Krause right behind him, and ended up driving himself right into the infield there. But actually, it was a great save. Got himself back up on 1 and got himself back up to speed.
Yeah, and I can really feel for Heritage's. I've been in the lead in a number of races and coming up on lap cars, and then just not knowing you're there, and next thing you're bumping and banging with cars that you really don't need to be doing. And it's a risk, right? It's risk versus reward.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, as the leader, you want to stretch that out as much as you can. But you're certainly, as you get closer to lap cars, you start getting a little nervous. are they going to hold their line? Are they going to get squirrely as I get closer to them? Am I going to, not so much arrow on this track or anything, but if I'm going to, take a little, make them loose as I'm getting closer to them. So it's, it's a little give and take as the leader, but you don't want to give too much.
Yeah, and you can't give too much. And it actually seems like Alonzo King is giving up a lot. He is still sitting in the pits from that second lap incident.
Yeah, he is still there. I have not seen Jarrett. Looks like Jarrett's running 5th right now. He's about 6.5 seconds back. And Heritage, as they say in the NASCAR circles, he's stinking up the show right now, stretching this out to about 2nd and 1/10 there. And he's got about a little over 2 on 3rd. So right now, race is in his hands.
Oh, we got contact there with Jarrett. And is that Green again involved in another incident?
I would say that's the 14 is Spratley, sorry.
Sorry about that.
Yeah.
To whoever, to Green, we apologize.
Yeah. Yeah. I am definitely not a wordsmith, so do my best with pronouncing everybody's names. So I'm sure I'll get some feedback later on that. So we stay green here.
Yeah, we're again staying green. That is not good for Jarrett. We don't know what level of damage that he has. He had worked his way up into the top 5. He was running in the 5th place position, and now we'll see where he falls out next time it cycles through.
Yeah, waiting for it to cycle through there. Looks like I don't think he lost too much. The field is pretty spread out right now.
Oh, he's still in 5th. Somehow, after getting spun out and getting it back going, he's still in 5th.
Yeah, well, that is definitely fortunate. So, seeing the guys getting a little squirrely coming off the corners. We're 27 laps in. We're almost halfway, or 23 laps in? Sorry. So tire wear is probably starting to become a little bit of a factor where, if you're coming off those corners and you may have to feather it, getting back on that gas, whereas, 10, 15 laps ago, you were probably a little harder into it. And now we're trying to get a little easier coming off the corner to save those tires a little bit.
Yeah, and all the drivers, now that they're, especially the leaders who are fully into lap cars now, they are going to have to start using up their tires a lot more by using that inside line. And that is going to change the handling of the car throughout the rest of the race.
Absolutely. As our leader here comes up on another lap car, be interested to see how he goes around him, basically right there on the bumper going into 1. Give him the high side. A little bit of a challenge there. The guy wants to stay on the lead lap or stay as close to the lead lap as he can. Corey does get him, is looking on the inside, and the 13 actually heads all the way to the fence. Nice to give him some space, but I don't think you need to give him that much space. So,
well, and what happened there is actually Kraus he's right there with him now, rather than being over a second back. He's just 0.3 off of him now, because Heritage had to kind of back up the corners a little bit, just because he was trying to predict where that lap car was going to be and trying to make that safe pass. And that's where having that second plus advantage allows you to make those moves a little bit safer around these lap cars. Yes, it cost him a portion of his lead, but he's still in the lead.
Yeah, and he's coming up. Obviously, they have 2 more lap cars in front of them. I would say about maybe 5 to 7 car lengths in front. So I'd be interested to see how Kraus plays this with Heritage. If he's just going to wait and see if he can get a 2-for-1 here, get the lap car and the leader at the same time. And they are definitely closing in fast on that lap car. So we'll see how this shakes out. That lap car right to the inside, going down that back stretch there. That was definitely, he definitely made it easy on the leaders there.
Yeah, and again, if I'm Kraus in this situation, I'm going to just stay right there, not push too hard, and let the lap cars force the leader to make that mistake. So that way, you're just there to capitalize, stay a couple of car lengths off the back. If they make a slip, that's when you make your move. And again, if you're going to go on the inside, especially to pass for the lead, you're going to have to be up in front of them by at least half a car length, 3/4 of a car length on the inside to do a slide job down into the corner.
I think Kraus is being very calculated with this, because I'm looking at him, and he looks super smooth on the track right now. I mean, Heritage looks the same way, but obviously he's the one who has to clear the path through the lap traffic. And I think Kraus is just playing this absolutely perfect right now.
I would agree with you. You know, he's right there. He's in position. If the mistake comes, he's going to be right there to capitalize. And if something happens with the lap car, he's just far enough back where he may be able to react and avoid it altogether.
Yep. I mean, he is right there on the bumper. So there's a combination now for Corey is he has to navigate these lap cars, but he's got a mirror full of Kraus right now.
And that's really hard to do. Friday night, me and Dakota, switching off the lead, you know, never really more than 3/10 away from each other throughout most of the race. And you're looking out your mirror just as much as you're looking out the front windshield. And it's hard to still hit your laps just the way you want to.
Oop, Kraus locked him up coming into 3, getting on to 4 there. So he drops back a little bit. He lost about 3/10 there. And I think he might have checked up a little bit because I think Corey in first here, he might have been checking up with that lap traffic, with that lap car right there.
Well, I think what we're seeing here is we're getting into some of the lap cars, but these are some of the faster cars, and we got contact right there.
We got contact with our leader, and I believe that is Lonnie Mixon there in the 58. Corey's able to keep it straight, though. He's still going, and he lost, looks like about a 1.5 seconds there to Kraus, and Kraus is pulling away.
Yeah, we're sitting here being pretty good. We just got done talking about how if something happens with a lap car, Kraus is in the key spot to be able to get through, and it played out, you know, to a T right there.
Yeah, absolutely. And third was pretty far back. Actually Corey just dropped into third, so I'm actually pretty surprised that Elliott was able to capitalize as well. He was pretty far back, but that was quite a spin slide coming out of 4 there. And we'll be interested to see how Corey recovers from that. I mean, he's been running a great race all the way through so far. But Kraus did exactly what I thought he would do, sit there and just wait for the mistake to happen. And if nothing happened as we got closer to the end, I think he might have pushed the issue there. But he is out in front. There's plenty of space behind him right now as he's looking at about a 1.5 seconds lead. And there's quite a bit of distance between him and the next lap car, so he may be able to stretch this out because he's got a lot of free racetrack in front of him here.
Yeah, and the big thing you got to say about Corey is even though he got into the lap car, and again, we were just talking about how hard it is to navigate that and the different aspects of keeping the second place guy behind him, is once he did get into the lap car, he did lift, right? He gave that lap car every opportunity to get it straight. He didn't just finish him off. I mean, kudos to him for, you know, racing that way and being, you know, I would still call him a clean driver because he gave that lap car that opportunity.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, that just was a racing deal coming out of 4 with 2 guys trying to, you know, probably get off the corner a little bit straight and getting a little loose. But both of them kept it, you know, just after the start-finish line, got it straight, got it pointed in the right direction, and we stayed green here. I mean, this is an impressive long green flag run on a track that, you know, really isn't that easy to run at. So, and Kraus still stretching out this lead here. He's over 2.25 seconds. So, wonder what's going on behind him there with second and third. Looks like Corey might be closing that gap in on second a little bit. With 28 laps to go here, I don't know if he has enough time without a caution coming to make up this 2-second gap because Kraus has checked out.
And I do think it's going to be hard for him to catch that up because both Heritage and Kraus were so close to each other as the way they were just running on the track. You know, he's going to need Kraus to get into some issues with lap cars, which, you know, he's into right now with a couple of lap cars.
Yeah, it looks like he just made some pass around 2 lap cars there. Coming up on the 13. 25 there. Jesse Elliott coming up on the 13, which is a lap down. He had a clean pass there. So, again, he's trying to catch the leader. He's doing a great job in lap traffic. But, again, that lead is pretty big. And Kraus has done a great job of getting through lap traffic so far. I don't know if they're just giving him the room or if he's just catching him on the right place at the track. He doesn't look like he's catching guys in the corners right now. He's catching them on the straightaways, which is a heck of a lot easier to catch a lap car.
He's doing a great job. And again, Alonzo King is still on the pits. I don't know, Tommy, if we can get in touch with Alonzo and see what he's got going on.
Yeah, let me see if he's got his cans on.
That is a long required repair there. So looks like we got King in here. And Alonzo, can you hear us? And we'll check back with him in a minute here as Kraus, again, he's continuing to check out here. He's about 2.5 seconds up. We got about 21 laps to go. Talking with Andy before the race, I don't believe fuel is going to be an issue. And we have gone some really long green flag runs here. So definitely interested to see how the tire wear shakes out for these last 20 laps as we come to the start-finish line with 20 to go.
Yeah, and the big story right now, again, it's James Kraus. He's out in the lead. He's pulling away from Elliott and Harridges, and he's about to catch the former champion, Jarrett. Jarrett is just in front of him now. What a turn of events from last year, finishing out the year as the champion, and then the first race of the year potentially going a lap down. While still running fifth, by the way.
Yeah, which will give you an indication of these guys running up front, how strong they were in this race. We only have 5 cars on the lead lap right now. And based on the lap times, I would say Kraus is about 5 seconds back. But it looks like he's closed that gap significantly as he's catching him here going into 1. Not exactly where you want to catch that lap car, but it looks like he made this pretty clean. That lap car moved up a little bit out of the preferred line, and he's right back up to that second line. And looks like he's moved up a little bit, so he might be working on saving those tires as well. Realizing the kind of lead he has, he's kind of I'd say in that second, maybe third lane from the bottom, maybe 2.5.
Yeah, and I think that's smart. The further up the racetrack that you're going, the less you're turning the wheel, especially here with the banking. That way he can save the tires, because if we get a late caution and we have a mad dash for under 5 laps, he's going to need to have some tire, and he has the ability right now with a 4-second lead to really start doing some tire saving.
Well, there's the caution. So now this is going to be very interesting. I believe we have 16 to go here. I am interested to see who's going to go to the pits, who's not. What do we have? About 4 or 5 cars on the lead lap. And nobody's been in the pits yet. So they got about 50 laps on a track that really does eat some tires.
Well, I'll tell you right now, if I'm the leader, I am not coming in.
I would be absolutely scared to come in right now.
No.
Never.
Fortunately, this tire model holds up really, really well. By the time we get this back going, we're going to have 10 or so to go.
Yep.
And we're getting a replay to go back to see what happened with that caution, I believe.
I don't see it yet. Not quite sure where it happened.
Oh, the guy running the camera is really old, so.
Oh, there we go. There we go. Guy
Wall.
up in the wall, and then he came down. I don't know if he...
I don't know if they went to a competition caution or what these guys did. I'm not quite seeing
I was going to say.
a big incident here.
I mean, if we threw a caution every time someone scratched the wall at this track, we'd never have any green flag laps.
Yeah, and I feel like they missed a few yellows, too. Maybe race control's having some issues throwing them or something.
Well, it's always tough, right? A lot of the admin, they're in the race, right? And when things are happening, you got to start hitting buttons on your wheel or whatever quick keys you got, and
yeah, I definitely.
Everyone thinks.
Yeah, I don't envy admins during these races at all. It's hard enough to try to keep the car under you and then try to manage the race at the same time is crazy. So we got Kraus still out here in the lead. Looks like he did not go to the pits,
As expected.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of with you there, Adam. I don't think I would just roll the dice. As you're saying, we're having a Saturday night shootout here with probably 10 laps to go, and the field's all tightened up. and you wonder if Corey, now he's able to get back close to Kraus again with this restart, and see what he can do with him, because he was running a strong race till he had a little bit of an incident there.
It'll be interesting to see once they get stacked back up. What can Corey do? What can Jesse do? What can even the rest of the top 5 be able to do? But also at the same time, is this the last caution? I don't think it is.
I don't think it is, and if history is any indication of that, I don't believe so. And Adam, I believe the lights are out on the pace car, so I think we're going green next time around. We're doubling them up here. Corey's been strong on the couple restarts we did have, and Jesse obviously is right there. So we'll see how this goes. We're going 1 lap to the green. I don't imagine going into turn 1 there's going to be a lot of give and take with 10 laps to go. Not a lot of give. There's probably going to be a lot more take, though.
Absolutely. And it actually looks like Corey's going to be on the outside here, and he's going to really need a good jump here, and he's going to want to try to have to stay on that quarter panel coming out of the 2-turn.
Yeah, Kraus got a excellent restart. Corey never was able to get to him on there. Looks like he's looking on the inside right now on the backstretch. We have 10 to go here. Still looking inside there. You wonder on short track racing on a Saturday night, someone gets the chrome horn. We'll see. Looks like he's racing him pretty clean, but he is definitely putting the pressure on. And Jesse Elliott, he's right there 2 and 3rd. It's these 3 guys, I think, and they've been in the front of the pack the entire race. With 8 to go, I'm not entirely sure that lap traffic is going to be a factor. So it's definitely interested to see how these 3 guys race it out here.
Yeah, I can't see lap traffic being a factor, but I'm actually really surprised that both Corey and Jesse keep looking like they're trying to dig on the inside, and that is just not going to be the fast way around. And it's really hard to set up that outside lane pass, right? You have to be right up against the wall in order to do it. And it looks like we got another caution, as we discussed just a few minutes ago.
Yep, absolutely. What do they say? Caution breeds cautions. I don't know where that came from. Looks like we had an incident and going into 2 there. Quite a few coming around.
If these guys are going to turn a couple more turtle laps, y'all want to bring Heritage in the booth and see how he's feeling up there?
Yeah, let's talk with him. He might have some feelings about earlier in the race, and what's his shot now?
Hey, Corey, Sean up in the booth. You have a copy? I can't hear Corey.
We're just striking out left and right tonight.
That's okay.
It's probably
It's
the guy that produces that end of it. He's probably upside down.
Yeah. Maybe he's really focused on the race too. So, let's see. What do you think we'll have? About 3 to 4 to go here. Once we go back green.
Yeah, and what do we have for green-white checkers with this race? We might need them.
So these guys will be on 3 chances at a green-white checker, so that could get pretty exciting.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think that's good to know, because I think what happened the last time around, right? We have even the leader, Kraus, did his restart. Is he going to do something different this time? Can Corey do something or do more anticipation and to be able to stay up on that outside quarter panel all the way down into the corner?
Yeah, Kraus got a big jump on that restart. He had an excellent restart because Corey really had no shot of even getting in on that quarter panel at all. By the time they went into 1, he was already half a car length back, which is going to make it extremely difficult to pass. So I imagine he's going to be a little more aggressive on this restart, and we'll see how that goes.
And at the same time, if I'm Kraus, as soon as that pace car pulls in, I'm going. I wouldn't even wait to get on the straightaway. I'd be in the middle of the 3 and 4 turn.
No, and Corey's going to have to realize that, so he's going to need to stay right with him.
Hey, Tommy, while you got a moment and pace car lights are still on, why don't you talk about B&B Wraps as our sponsor tonight?
Yeah, so B&B Wraps, small company out of Pennsylvania. I can't recall the name of the guy. It's Jeremy, last name I can't pronounce. He actually donated a prize for the season champion Justin Jarrett when he finished the first season, which was it's an automotive wrap wrapped around a board that he can hang on his wall. So kind of like a wall hanging trophy. Really good looking stuff.
Yeah, special thanks to B&B Wraps. I know we saw the pictures. We have it up on the Facebook group. Looks absolutely fantastic, and I'm sure Jarrett loves it.
Yeah, those pictures, yeah, that were really nice. Those guys do a quality job, that's for sure. So looks like we're going back green here. Lights are out on the pace car. We're heading into 3. I don't know how many laps we have to go here. We'll find out in a second. Pace car is in, and Kraus is there, and he's back on the gas right now. And again, another great restart. Jesse was looking to the inside of Corey there, but they are right back 3 in a row, and it looks like Corey's looking inside and looking inside. I don't think he's going to be able to put the bumper in there right now. So we have 2 to go here. Definitely, we look at Kraus. He's went high. Corey wasn't able to capitalize on that. He's looking inside again, and Jesse's kind of in that catbird seat in 3 there. Oh, he just kissed the wall a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep. And here comes Kraus. Already got the white flag coming out of 4. We got a car spinning through 4. It looks like James Kraus is going to take the win.
Stayed green there.
Yeah, no, that's it. That's the entire race. That was checkered flag there. So we got James Kraus first, Corey Heritage second, and Jesse Elliott third. They were the top 3 all night, and they stayed that way. That's not how they started. James Kraus made that great move when Corey got tangled up with that lap car.
Yeah, like I said before, Kraus, I think he played this race exactly the way I would have done it. I'm sure you as well, Adam. Sitting there just waiting for the leader to make a mistake. I think he knew he had the speed in the car. In qualifying, he was only a couple of tenths back. So he played that perfectly. And the last 2 restarts, he didn't allow Corey to get to him, didn't allow Corey to get to the into that quarter panel, make life a little difficult, didn't even let him get there to even move him up the track. So kudos to him on those 2 last restarts. I think that was key to his winning this race, I think.
Absolutely. And the biggest thing for him was his patience, right? Patience is what won him that race. There was plenty of times in and around the lap cars he could have forced an issue and caused himself the race.
Yeah, absolutely. Watching him, when we were in the middle of that race or the early part of that race, and he just sat behind Corey right in his tire tracks, and he waited and he waited and he waited, and he had the opportunity, and he definitely seized it. And once he did that, man, he was off to the races. He checked out, did a great job, and then those last 2 restarts, like I said before, an excellent job doing those restarts. So I think this was a great race to watch. I don't think we had any major incidents. I think what we had on the track there was what we would see in a normal race at this track. People spinning, coming off the corner, trying to put the power down a little early, and not being able to keep it straight. But overall, I think this was a great race.
It was a great race, and yeah, we had some contact, we had some spins. We didn't have any major carnage where a majority of the pack getting wrecked with it. But again, this is Thompson, right? Like, it's tight coming out of the corners, and it's really a single groove racetrack for a lot of these types of races. So when they're in the outside groove like that, it's hard to dig underneath. So you're going to have those points of contact. We even saw it with our leaders in and around lap cars, who they are in fact faster than, how hard it was to pass on the inside to get around them.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely. Once the leaders were coming up on some lap cars, I thought, based on the speed that those guys had, they would have made that pass easy. And some of those lap cars put up a pretty good fight, trying to stay on the lead lap or trying to just stay 1 lap down. But they definitely made it, difficult on the leaders at times. So it was, it's a hard track. It's a hard track to pass at. It's a fun track to race at, but it can get difficult to pass.
That it is. And now that we got everyone done with their cool down, I don't know if that was necessarily cooling down from some of the wrecks.
It really didn't look like it, did it?
Like it went into demo derby time. But we don't have James Kraus appear to be ready to chat with us, but we do have both the second and third place cars. Tommy, can we bring them in?
Yeah, let me try Heritage one more time. It looks like he's having some issue with his radio, but I'll see if he can get it corrected real quick. Or actually, let me give you Jarrett, and I'll talk to Heritage in the driver channel.
What about getting Jesse Elliott?
Yeah, we got Elliott.
Cool.
Hey, Jesse, can you hear us?
Yes, sir.
Hey, great job tonight. Looks like you and Corey were side by side there coming out of 4 on that very last lap. I think you guys did a great job out there. And what was your feelings after this race here?
Yeah, it was. So I've only ran this track one time, and it was my first race on iRacing like 6 months ago. So I don't know it that well, and it was good just to be up there in the front. We kind of got spaced out there in the kind of middle run of the race, and then towards the end we got filed back up. So there towards the end, it was really good. I got to see their line and just hang on to them there at the end. But it was fun. It was clean up front the whole time. Just lap cars. That was the only thing. But a lot of new guys tonight, so it was fun.
Speaking of the lap cars, you guys, all 3 of you up front there, had a lot of speed, but it seems like getting around the lap cars was a little bit of a task tonight.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like this track, if you're not towards like that middle portion, that dark middle portion lane, your line's kind of off. It's pretty loose. So just it's hard to run one clean lap on a solid line because of the lap cars. So just fighting that the whole race was a little challenging.
Well, I thought you did a great job. You were running there in third when Corey had the lead. Corey had a little bit of a issue with lap traffic coming out of 4. James Krause was able to capitalize on that. And I'll be honest, Jesse, I thought you were far enough back where Corey was going to stay at second, but you were able to capitalize and move up to second. But it looks like James just had more speed than anybody could handle tonight.
Yeah, he was quick all night, and I just started fading there once I had second. My line and tires and everything started coming to play there, and I just started fading. And then towards the end, I tried to make the move, and it was too slick.
Yeah, it looks like James had some great restarts there. Obviously, he controls the restarts. So looks like he was able to get out there, and by the time you guys got to get going, he had just enough space to just stay out in front there. But it was definitely interesting to watch the 3 of you on those last 2 laps, especially after that last caution there. I was some exciting racing.
Awesome. Yeah, it was definitely a fun time.
Excellent. I wonder if we can speak with Corey, if he's available. Corey, can you hear us?
Yeah, I got you. Hear me?
Yeah, thanks for taking time out to talk with us. Looks like you got into a little bit of an incident coming off of 4 with some lap traffic there. You want to tell us what happened there?
Well, we had direct line communication. I told him I was coming, and he said, yeah. And from what I could tell, I mean, whatever, racing happens. I think I got in the gas a little bit. He may have gotten tight and backed off a little bit, and that killed me.
Yeah, it did look like you guys got to the same piece of real estate at about the same time. But I will say kudos to you, and I don't know who that was, but you guys got it pointed in the right direction. At that point, though, Krause had capitalized. You had a full mirror of him while you were trying to navigate lap traffic at the same time. I don't imagine that's easy with a guy with some significant speed behind you and lap traffic in front of you. It's tough to look out the front windshield and the rearview mirror at the same time.
Yeah, I was just worried about getting taken out from the front more than the back. He seemed like a good guy back there. We got a couple of new people in here, which, everybody's learning, everybody's having a good time. It's just some people got to pay attention to what's behind them. We had a couple incidents tonight, and that kind of ruined our race a bit.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like you're a little disappointed there, but I got to tell you, I think you ran a great race, especially with those 2 late cautions, kind of tightened you and James and Jesse back up. I think James just got some really good restarts there at the end. What were your feelings on his restarts there? It looks like, if you could have got a fender inside of him, I think maybe you could have made that pass, but it just seems like he just got off on those restarts where neither you nor Jesse could get to him.
Yeah, he definitely launched better. My goal was to get on the outside of him because you definitely need to be on the outside here to protect. But he just beat me to the start-finish line, and I did the best I could, and that's all I could get. It's all right.
Excellent. Well, this is my first time broadcasting these veterans races, and if they'll have me back, I'd be more than happy to come back, because I will tell you what, this is probably one of the more entertaining races I've seen in quite some time, and I look forward to seeing you up in the front again. It was definitely entertaining to watch, and I think it was a real great race to watch.
Hey, I had a lot of fun, and I hope to stay up front. But it was great. Thank you.
Excellent. Thanks so much.
Yep. See you next week.
Well, I think the big thing there is, kind of hearing the disappointment in Corey's voice, right? He sat on the pole, led a lot of laps. Yeah, he got tangled up with the lap car, but he also recovered, right? Like, I think that's the part that is so easy to forget, right? Like, you had a good night going, something happened, and were you able to recover, right? He didn't lose his cool. He worked his way back up in a second. He was still in contention at the end. I would imagine he'll be in contention in the future at some of these other races, and you'll have another shot at getting a win.
Yeah, I mean, we've all been there. We've all had races. We've qualified well, or even taken the pole, and first 25 or 30 laps, we're like, "Hey, man, this is my night." And it's just like racing. You don't know what's going to happen, and next thing you know, you're sitting second or third, and you're asking yourself, "What the heck just happened here?" I mean, I've got a great car, and I've sat on the pole, and things were going well, and that's that's just the way it goes.
Yeah, that is racing, but also at the same time, second, I mean, that's a great way to start the season. It starts putting your name into title contention, especially as strong as he was, right? Especially in the early part of the races until he was in that incident. And I think, we were talking at the beginning, it was really going to be about Jared and, King and, what's going to go on there and who are going to be the names. It was very clear to me that the top three were in a very different spot from fourth, fifth on back. And will these be the drivers that are going to get talked about all season long?
Andy, what track are we at next week?
Oh, let me see if we can get that information for you. And for anybody out there in YouTube land that is interested, you can always grab the schedules on Tyler Daniels Race, TylerDRacing.com. Give me a second.
Yep, or join the Facebook group. We post a lot of stuff there. It's pretty well organized, so you can find them there if you need to. But the website is the best place for everything.
I've been going to the website as well. I don't get to race as much as I'd like to, but this was a lot of fun, and these guys put on a really great show tonight. Just interested to see. I know you guys, we race the same car, but we race a lot of different tracks. So be interested to see as we get to different style tracks. Obviously Jarrett and King. Jarrett, our past season 1 winner here. King, obviously. Showing that he's has some speed in his car previous season, but we didn't see or hear much of them at all tonight. So that might be a good thing for this league. If we have 4, 5, 6 guys that are in contention every single Saturday night, that definitely makes for a very interesting race.
Yeah, that does. And I don't know if I didn't hear it, but we're going to be in Concord next week, and that produces some very interesting races with that dog leg on the backstretch and how you have to really swing wide out of 2 to make a straight line. Well, as good of a straight line as you can down that backstretch. So it'll be interesting to see how these drivers adapt, because Thompson is so significantly different than that upcoming racetrack.
I've heard Concord described as a mini version of Pocono.
Well, it's kind of laid out that way. It's a bit of a triangle, but if you get it figured out, we just actually raced there with the Friday nights league just last night, and it was a really good race there. We raced the Legends there a couple weeks ago. I enjoyed those races immensely, but I won both of them, so I'm a little biased. I really like that racetrack because it actually is a driver's track, because the way you have to really swing that car around, the way you go into 1 and come out of 2, the dog leg into 3 and into 4, it's just every corner is significantly different from each other. It's great.
Well, I definitely look forward to seeing that, and looking to see if the guys that we saw up front tonight can continue their success. See if Jared and King can find the speed in their cars. I mean, they didn't qualify horribly bad. I think they were 7th and 8th in qualifying next to each other. But these 3 guys up front were kind of the leaders of the pack today, and everybody else was just fighting for positions behind them. And they did an awesome job today.
Yeah, I think it was a great race. Again, hopefully we get asked back, from Tommy and Andy. I had a good time with us. This is great.
Honestly, listening to you two is way better than listening to ourselves make mistakes.
Oh, yeah. This was a breeze tonight. I didn't have to come up with something to say with the dead air when Tommy just decides not to talk anymore, and yeah, it was great.
All I had to do was talk to drivers every now and then.
Excellent. Well, I appreciate being here, and like Adam said, if you guys will have me back, I'll be more than happy to come back there, Andy.
Well, we
I think
appreciate you
people out
guys.
there watching would like that too.
Yeah, we appreciate both you, Sean and Adam, for joining us tonight. I know I definitely would like to have you back next week for sure, and probably the rest of the season if you guys can handle it. And we'll go from there. As everybody out there can see the schedule now, we are at Concord next week, and some really good tracks on that schedule. A lot of short tracks. Do have Charlotte is on there. Legacy Phoenix ought to be a fun one. So a lot of good things. Warren Park is they're running the short leg of Warren Park as a figure 8. I think that ought to be fun too.
Oh, Charlotte's the one, the Daytona of street stocks.
It really is, isn't it? That's a great comparison. Because they, when you take that street stock in Charlotte, I mean, you are wide open. So that's definitely an interesting race. I'm looking forward to seeing that one, and as well as all of these. Concord is definitely a unique track, and it's going to be, for these guys that are new to iRacing or new to this league, settled in tonight, and then they go to Concord next week. It is going to be a whole different set of skills.
Yeah, it's a great schedule. A lot of different tracks, full of good short tracks and some of the bigger tracks. Good ones to go to. And I think before we sign off, seeing the backside of this production, I can't say enough about Andy and Tommy. When they asked us to do this, it's like, oh yeah, get on the Discord and just start talking. And there is so much more to this than anybody realizes about how they got videos ready to go, how they load that all up, and to see that tonight. Andy and Tommy, they're top-notch guys. We already knew this anyways in the groups, but they really give it their all, and seeing the production on the backside just further plants that in my brain that these guys are the best thing for TDR.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I've seen some of Andy's videos, and I thought, well, that seems fairly simple to get done. And then as he was getting us loaded in here, I was sorely mistaken. There is a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes, and it was great being a part of it. Appreciate it. My job was definitely easy. All I did has to talk about a fun race and talk about things that I enjoy. So that's simple.
Well, we appreciate the kind words, guys, and definitely appreciate you guys calling the race tonight. Did a phenomenal job. Look forward to having you guys with us at Concord next week.
Absolutely, I'm looking forward to that as well. I'm getting older, Andy. I don't go out on Saturday nights. Not that you can go anywhere these days, but even if I could, I'd still be in my jammies at 9:00 anyways.
I hear you there, buddy. It's we're all getting a little bit older, and COVID's keeping us in, so might as well sit back, relax, enjoy these vets, and giving them a space to kind of form a brotherhood. We get to watch what they're doing out on the track, and it's a hell of a lot of fun.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having us. I think you and Tommy are closing the show here. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. We'll take it from here. We appreciate you guys, and you guys have a phenomenal night, and thank you so much for tonight.
Thank you.
Guys, thank you
so much.
Well, Tommy, we saw another great race. We got some new names up there. Season 2 kickoff. It's just this is gonna be an exciting season.
That was a very exciting race. I'm looking forward to the rest of this season, and especially with those two broadcasting. I mean, they did a phenomenal job, way better than we can do. We're obviously much better at behind the scenes stuff.
Oh, no doubt about it. They know what they're actually talking about. That's the problem. We just wing it, and then I try and say something like, "Hey, Tommy, what do you think?" And then you're, I don't know, cleaning up a snow globe or something. See, he's
That
back.
pause was
He's
for
back,
comedic effect.
Back
That pause was for
he's
comedic effect.
back to cleaning up a snow globe.
Oh, I forgot about that snow globe.
But we it's awesome. Tonight was awesome. These great announcers, great race, new guys up front. The two guys that we thought would be a factor just weren't tonight.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. I think both of them had some issues starting in the middle of the pack. I mean, with that many cars, it's anything could happen, especially with a lot of new drivers. So it's the guys up front kind of stayed up front.
Yeah, it's gonna be a fun season to go through. I'm for everybody. I won't be here next week. Gonna go visit my daughter. We will invite Sean and Adam back next week to call all the action along with Tommy, and hopefully Tommy can handle some of this production end and.
The audio will be phenomenal.
Yeah, I might as well just stream it over the radio.
I do have a face for radio.
We'll get it all. Worked out for everybody. We thank everybody for joining us tonight. As always, we thank the vets for what they do and what they've sacrificed for us and their families, and we thank them for everything they've done.
Absolutely.
And that's about all I got for tonight. We'll see everybody next week at Concord.
See you guys on